Hello one and welcome to a new video. We are at the last TBR for 2025, which is super weird, but we are going to talk over some of the books I'm planning to read in December. And I don't know how or when this happened, but TBRs became like, in a way, the easiest and hardest videos to film because I never know what I'm actually going to read, so it's hard to like assemble enough books to make a video. But it's a very chill video because they're very short, because I don't know what I'm going to read. Obviously, since we are on the last TBR of the year, I should look over the lists I made in the beginning of the year of sequels, aka series I was going to finish, as well as my 25 and 25 TBR. And I did read a lot of those. I haven't actually checked it because the journal where I wrote those down is in another part of the house and I didn't bother going to get it. I remember in the beginning of the year, I really focused on those lists. I feel like I covered like almost all of the things I really wanted to on those. But the reason I started to focus on those lists last is not because I wouldn't be able to make it. It's more because I knew I was going to read down my TBR in a different way through TBR Tumble, and I was going to start that later in this year. It just took a little while before I actually got started with that. So I knew that like, oh, all these books on my TBR, I'm going to cover them in TBR Tumble. So then I just didn't feel like I need to rush them in a different way. So TBR Tumble is happening in December. I have already decided on my next episode and started to film it now. So that will come sometime in December, hopefully. I just need to read through all of those books I have to read. And then obviously I have loads of other books that I also need to read. Among them, which maybe seems very random, I do have Gardens of the Moon by Steven Erikson. This is the first book in Malasan or Malasan, I don't know how to pronounce it, series. I do have the physical one from the library here, and then I also do have the ebook. And reading this for another vlog, which is a bit a surprise when it's coming, but hopefully that is also coming in December. For that same vlog, I'm also reading House of Leaves, which I never thought I actually would bother to read because like the text is upside down and I don't know if I will be able to understand it. But I knew that I needed a physical copy for this because I just thought like turning upside down my like e-reader and all that, I just don't know how that works. But like, how did they translate that into ebook? No idea. So I did borrow this at the library and I need to read it like in December-ish. I have 2 more books I need to read for the same vlog as well. It is God of Fury by Rena Kent, as well as Foxhole Court. But I don't know if I'm going to reread the first one, which I probably will, because I have read that but many years ago, and I feel like I need to reread that to continue anyway. Probably that one by Nora Sakavic. I do also have library loans, which in general I just need to read soon, so I need to squeeze them in somewhere. So we have Fate's Bane by Sia Clark, which is the author of Magic of the Lost something. It's right here. I just cannot remember the name of the actual Magic of the Lost. That is literally what it's called. Look at me. I don't actually know the plot for this, but I was unsure if I wanted to own it, so I did put in a library loan, as well as Eternal Ruin by Tigress Gurma. This is the sequel to Immortal Dark, which I read earlier this year for a vlog, and I found it intriguing, while like another part of me also found it, I don't even know, but we are like this academic school and we are fighting, and there's vampires, but I just didn't understand how this society works, because it just didn't make sense to me. But then I was still engaged in the story, so I put in a hold for the second one, and now I need to read that within the next 10 days. And then I do also have checked out The House of Sapphire by Marissa Mayer. I thought for some reason this was a sub box, but so it turns out I just wanted to have it. I have that on audio, and that will probably be my next audio after one I'm doing now. Don't know anything about this either, except that it's Marissa Mayer. Unsure if I wanted to own it, because while I like Lunar Chronicles, unsure if like the types of book Marissa Mayer writes now, if that's something I want to have on my shelves. So those were the ones I have checked out, and ones for a vlog, which is like just like a side vlog I'm doing that I don't really have time for amongst the like main other things. I am confused. Who knows what I'm doing, honestly. We also have Vampire Academy, which is my series read along. The live show should be the second weekend of December, and we reading the last 2 books in this series. So we have Spirit Bound and Last Sacrifice. I have different covers on these for some reason. We have been having a blast with our read along, and I'm very, very, very excited to read the last 2 because obviously the main events are coming here, and I'm so excited. So obviously I do need to read these also on the side for all of these other things I'm doing, but super excited. For my own Patreon read along, we are now on Where Drowned Girls Go by Sinead McGuire. I tend to read the book, even though like this is for December, I tend to read the book in the first few days of the next month. So I might end up reading this in January, but I also might want to keep it in 2025 since it belongs in that year, but in the end doesn't really matter. I also realized I have a couple of manga series where I'm at the end, and I have this thing where I would really like to finish them before the new year, just because then I don't need to write up 1 volume for the next year in my journal, and it takes like a whole slot in my journal, and it's only 1 volume. So that is one of the main reasons. And also I really read manga anyway, so I would just like jump these up on my list in a way. So I have different ones. We have Monster. This is volume 8, but volume 9 is on its way. I just bought it on a sale. And those are the last 2 in the series, and then it's done. So then I would really like to get to 8 and 9 in December, which I definitely, like, I don't think manga is going to be a problem. I also finally got Land of the Lustrous 13. I feel like it was like ages, like 1.5 years between this and the last one. This is the last one in the whole series. So when I read this is done, which is really weird because I've been reading it for a long time. It is right here. So I really want to get to that one as well. I don't usually show off manga in my TBR, but I thought that these were the highlights. I also have the last volume of My Hero Academia. I have to double check behind me. Yes, I did read 41. 42 is the last one ever, which obviously in Japanese has been finished for a long time, like last year, but now I have the last one. But to be the last one, it is a small volume. I expected it to be thicker, but it says on the back the final volume, which is super rare because I've been reading this for like almost 10 years, and it's really weird. But I would like to get to this so I can check it off in my journal, as well as My Dress Up Darling 14, which also I've been reading for a long while now, and 14 now is the last volume. The ironic thing is that like this is 42 volumes and this is 14 volumes, but there's that. But yeah, so we'd like to get this also before the new year to finish up those series. So there was like a lot of manga series I came to the end, or I guess Monster I came to the end because that's been out for many years, but the others ended now. So there is that, and it is really weird, but it's really nice to clear out some of my lists. Not that I feel like it ever gets shorter no matter how many I clear, because somehow while I only started I think 2 series all of 2025, it's still too long. But I make a whole new manga video in the beginning of the year to update you on where I am in all my series. But that was those plans. Okay, so for the last thing for the TBR, as always, we are picking from the gum machine. My highest tier in my Patreon gets in their name in the machine, and then they get to pick out a book I read every month. So there's like one almost stuck there, but we are shaking it a bit, and we just restarted the machine. So let's see what we get. We get Erica. Oh my god, Erica was just there, I feel like, as well. These notes are falling apart, but you can barely see it. Oh, well, whatever. I believe that you believe me. So Erica has like an ongoing pick, so I will go and get it. It's really weird because Erica was last month, but then we restarted the machine, so then she showed up again, which is funny. But Erica has the ongoing pick of Bridgerton series. So last month I did read number 3 in the series. So then we will be reading number 4, which is Romancing Mr. Bridgerton. And I do have that really nice limited editions. But I do listen to these on audio actually, because they are really fun on audio. But obviously this is the editions I have, which I always thought that I would never own them because I was like, I'm not interested in reading them. Then I got the Lumicrit editions. And now I'm reading them because I need to read the books I have. But yeah, it is nice to make progress in this. And that was the last pick for this. Leave a feather down below if you have enjoyed this video. And I wish you good luck with the last reading month of 2025. For me, it's been going great. And I think that this month will be great as well. I actually have some days off, like a whole 5 days off in a row. That's incredible. What am I going to do with all the extra time? Thank you so much for being here, and you should see me soon in a new one.